my assistant, Haley. We are going to be making an apple bake, which is sort of like an apple pie. What you first need to do is you can get an apron, you can set up.
And wash your hands, please.
And so we're going to get started. What we did is we have 2.5 cups of flour and 1 bar of Crisco, and we mixed it up. Thank you. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a half teaspoon of salt. And that is going to go straight into our mixture. And while she's mixing that, I've got a 1/3 cup of water. That is going to, ice cold water is going to go into the mixture. So the next thing that we're going to do is that while she's still mixing that, we're going to wash the apples. Okay, so now we're done with our dough. I'm going to mix it with our hands. Now I'm going to have my assistant do this. And you try to get as much dough as you want in the bowl, so that way you just have a lot more dough.
So when you're done, it should kind of
Start looking like forming together and mixing. Will you sprinkle some flour on
yes.
it? And we have saran wrap, right? And we're going to sprinkle some flour on it. Rub it around, maybe a little bit more.
I think that's enough, Kyle.
One for the bottom, so I'm going to split that into half. And I'm going to start off with this one. Make it into a ball. And then I'm going to start rolling this out. Now we don't want it too thin, but we want it thin enough so that way it will, it won't fall apart. And she's going to start doing that. Now if it falls apart and it's cracking, just
it'll not like crack or anything like that.
Okay, now since we are done, we are going to lay it into our bowl. And we do not want this to crack and fall apart. Take our bottom, lay it right in there. And be careful because this is... Now where we left off was that you were preparing your dough. So now we're going to go to the apples. You can have your parents cut your apple into slices like these, and then you can do the rest, dicing, whatever the rules are.
Or have a parent supervision.
And so we're just going to continue dicing our apples, and I make them into thin, straight apple things, and you can do whatever you want, but just remember that you always want to follow your parents' rules of how they feel about you using a knife. And we're just using a butter knife just because it's a little bit easier and
safer.
It's safer, yes. On to our ingredients to make the filling. So we mix this. We have a 1 tablespoon of vanilla and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Then we have a 1/2 cup of sugar. We're trying to make this as healthy as we can. I'm just going to start that. Yep. We have 2 tablespoons of, tablespoons of melted butter.
That's delicious.
I think it's going to be very well. Okay, and then we are going to mix this.
And also, if you don't have like a little platter or something like this, you can just get your dough, get an apple and wrap your dough around the apple.
Or you can have a full apple.
Mm-hmm.
And there's there's your apple pie, just simple like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put our mixture into our dough bottoms. So, just gonna... Now for our toppings, what we're going to do is we're going to take it, and we're going to take our little trim wrap and take it and kind of hard it on top. And that's pretty easy. That's just the way to finish it.
And now, fill your bowl where your bowl and all that is, and then cut some parts that you don't really need. But make sure that you can wrap it or kind of around the sides in there.
So yeah, this is cut a little flour in the middle. That's what I like to call it. And then you're just gonna cut a little bit there. I usually cut about 6. You can cut how many you want. And that's just something simple. Won't be too scary on me. All the way around, and that might look very pretty, but trust me, whenever it comes out of the oven, it will taste really good. Perfect.
You can feel it.
It's gonna be delicious. So just make your last thing. Oh, and don't forget to preheat your oven to 350. And so 350 right there.
While it's preheating, you can go do some exercises.
Go swimming. This can take a little bit. So this is other than that.
Thank you, girls. Want to say goodbye?
Oh,
Bye. And we'll be making next week chocolate zucchini bread. It may sound gross, but it tastes super delicious.
yes, it does. I do not like zucchini, but I really do like this. Isn't this so beautiful?
Action.
Hi, we just got done cooking our pies, and now we're going to taste them. And I wanted to tell y'all that we ended up cooking the pie 45 minutes, and then we did something extra. We did a whole apple and covered it in butter, melted butter, vanilla, cinnamon, and sugar, and then wrapped the dough around it and sprinkled some cinnamon and sugar on there. And then this we just put in a little container, the rest of our filling. And the filling took 30 minutes and the whole entire apple took 45 minutes. So now we're going to dive in and taste. Before we dive in and taste, there's also one thing. If we can't have too much sugar, that's why we need to have some water. And also, fruit sugar is a lot more healthier. It's natural. So try to eat as much as that as you can, than trying to eat other types of sugar that can be very icky and won't be good for your body. So let's taste.